Welcome back, everyone, to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 5, Episode 6 of Eldritch Horror, and we're playing Cities in Ruin expansion against the great old one, Shudmel. You can see Shudmel launching up out of the earth. We last turn spawned a gate with a couple of cultists. We were able to close a mystery. We've launched a new mystery, the Bringer of Ruin. So let's jump right into turn 6. So let's start out with Bob Jenkins. Bob Jenkins currently is all healed up. He can not acquire an asset, so maybe he's going to leave this rumor to... Actually, the rumor calls for observation. He can leave this to Ashcan Pete, and maybe he will go off to the city in the south with his first move, and then with his second move he'll acquire acquire an asset. So he's got the influence here. Let him roll to acquire an asset, and I believe he also can count 4s as 6s, and he can also use his perform asset acquire action. He can actually reduce the scores to 1, but I do believe that somebody, maybe not him, but the active mystery says anyone who acquires an asset must spend 2 clues, or so he'll spend the 2 clues to, even if he acquires an asset, because I want him to kind of make this doing business, make good on that. So let's go ahead. So again, he wins, and since these are all reduced to 1, he can just take the Lodge Hammer. The Lodge Hunter, Lodge Hunter. We'll replace his card here. He gets the Lodge Hunter, and he can add strength and will, and he can re-roll a die, plus he gets an additional but he has to spend 2 clues to avoid getting a cursed condition. So he spends the 2 clues, and this can go to the discard pile. Okay, so that is the action phase for that's the action phase for Bob Jenkins. Let's move on to the action phase for Roland Banks. So Roland Banks, still in San Francisco. Let's have Roland Banks go across to... let's see, where's he going to go? I guess he's going to maybe have to go close this gate. So we'll have him go here first just to do an encounter, and he can spend his train ticket to do 1 more move. Let's have him go to Arkham. Okay, so we can have an Arkham encounter there. Next up is... Oh, actually, he can fly anywhere he wants to, but let's save that to the end. Maybe we can do that if Shudmel is spawned. So he does need to go find a clue. So yeah, so I guess for a second one, he can take a boat token for next round. And let's have, lastly, Ashcan Pete. Again, Pete can stay where he is. He will use his... Can recover an additional sanity. Let's have him try to acquire an asset, I guess. So he can... he can't acquire an asset because he's in a country space. So let's have a focus token, and then that'll be that. Okay, so Ashcan Pete, done. Let's go into the encounters phase. So we'll go back to the top with Bob Jenkins. Bob Jenkins, just a city encounter. What do you want? No, you do what you want to alleviate the city's widespread poverty. Okay, so he can alleviate the city's widespread poverty. Passes. You find that though they did not survive... Oh, sorry. If you pass, the citizens gratefully offer to share their knowledge, gain a talent condition. So he can gain a talent condition, and he gains resilient, and he can prevent the loss of up to 2 health. So that's great. Helpful. Let's go to Roland Banks. Again, he is in Arkham, and he will just do an Arkham encounter here. Arkham encounter is the green. Arkham. They say the strange creatures perform ancient rituals on Devil's Reef off the coast of Innsmouth. But to witness them, you have to know where to go and where to hide. You can spend 1 clue to gain an incantation spell and a non-ritual spell. Okay, he's not going to do that. So he does not gain a spell. He doesn't have any clues left, so that's fine. Okay, next one is Ashcan Pete. So let's have Ashcan Pete go ahead and try to close out this return to Garn. So the ongoing rumor is, as an encounter, the investigator in the heart of Africa may search the symbol that once held the Chthonians at bay. So let's have him roll this. And he's able to do rerolls. And he passes. If you pass, you may spend clues equal to investigators to solve this rumor, which he can. He has 1, 2, 3 clues. He will spend clues equal to this and solve this rumor. So we get to close that out. It's kind of not as gratifying as solving a mystery, but now the only problem is we have no clues between any of us. So we really need to focus on gathering clues. So I think the strategy here will be, maybe we'll send who's got the plane? Bob Jenkins. Let's have Bob Oh no, that's Roland Banks has got the plane. Maybe Roland Banks next turn will fly to Indonesia or something and get this clue, and then he can close this as well, and then maybe we can have Bob Jenkins can make his way to Buenos Aires, and he can grab these 2 clues. Maybe Ashcan Pete also can do the same, although he's better with the rail lines. So let's see if any clues get spawned, and we can decide that later. Okay, so that's finishing up the encounter phase. Let's go into the Mythos phase. So Mythos phase, we get, first off, we advance the token. And because we advance the token, we have our Fall of Man. It says, during the game, when the Omen track advances to the green space, draw and resolve a disaster. So we are on the green space. We will draw and resolve a disaster. And the disaster is water spouts. Like a living thing, the deluge crosses the water's surface, carried by the deafening winds. It paralyzes you with primal fear. Each investigator on a sea space loses 2 sanity. None of us are on a sea space. Then return all ship tickets to the game box. Ship ticket returned to the game box. Wow, the water spouts. So water spouts it is. Reconciling that disaster. We don't have any gates on green, I believe, so Doom does not advance. We do get a monster surge. So the monster surge on our open gate of 2 with a Shan and a haunting horror. And lastly, we spawn a clue. And we get the Himalayas. So I think maybe Pete is going to head off to this route, and we'll have Bob Jenkins go off this way, and maybe we'll even have, or you know what? Maybe Roland Banks can move down here, get these two, and we'll have these guys both head into Asia. So maybe his next one will be heading to Sydney, or heading up here, getting a ticket. Okay, looks good. So that's the Mythos phase. So yeah, we'll see you all in turn number 7. Thanks for watching, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.